The great hall of the Galactic Council was filled with voices. Alien leaders from 100 worlds shouted over each other. Holograms of warships floated in the air, but one image made them all silent. It was a black, sharp-edged human warship, smaller than most freighters, yet every alien eye seemed fixed on it with fear. The hollow slowly spun, showing no weapons, no visible engines, only a strange dark shimmer along its hull. This ship, a tall insectoid delegate said, must be banned from existence. Another alien slammed his claws on the table. No. It must be destroyed before it destroys us all. High above, in the central speaker's chair, the council leader, a six-eyed reptilian elder, raised his voice. We will hear the case, but remember this: the galaxy has never feared humanity more than it fears. This, the council chamber, faded into darkness. 3 months earlier, far from the busy trade lanes, the human colony of Erebos 4 floated, quietly in the shadow of its red sun. Farmers worked under the warm glow, children played in artificial parks, and no one knew that death was coming from the stars. On the far edge of the system, a fleet of 70 alien warships emerged from hyperspace. They belonged to the Kargathi Dominion, a species known for destroying colonies without warning in the flagship's bridge. Admiral Kor leaned forward in his command chair, his mandibles clicking in amusement. One small colony, no orbital defenses. This will be over before my tea cools. The Kargathi ships moved in formation, weapons primed back on Erebos 4. Sensors screamed warnings. Civilian transports rushed to escape. The colony's tiny defense force, 2 old patrol frigates, formed a desperate shield above the planet. Then, without fanfare, a single human warship dropped out of hyperspace. It was the Valiant, small, dark, and silent. It moved with the slow, steady grace of something that didn't fear time or danger. Its black hull seemed to swallow the light of the nearby star. From the alien flagship, Admiral Kor laughed. One ship. They send one ship against 70. Humans are as foolish as they are arrogant. Inside the Valiant's bridge, Captain Elias Rourke stood with his hands behind his back, watching the alien formation on the holly display. His crew moved calmly, no sign of panic. Shields up, Rourke said. His voice was quiet, but every officer obeyed instantly. The alien fleet opened fire first. Hundreds of plasma bolts, railgun rounds, and missile swarms tore through space toward the small human ship. But instead of exploding against metal, every shot vanished the moment it touched the shimmering field around the Valiant. On the alien flagship, confusion spread. Direct hits. No damage, a Kargathi officer reported. Fire again, Kor barked. The second wave came heavier, faster. It met the same fate, disappearing into the black shimmer-like stones, vanishing beneath still water, inside the Valiant. The crew waited in silence. Ready the pulse, Rourke said. From the outside, it looked like nothing happened. No bright flash, no missile trails, just a ripple in the dark space around the ship. One heartbeat later, the Kargathi's largest battleship, a vessel twice the size of a human city, was gone. No explosion, no debris. Gone as if it had never been there. On the alien com channels, panic erupted. What happened to the Vertal? It's not reading on scanners. It's erased. Admiral Kor stared at the empty void where his flagship's right flank had been. Fear crawled through him, a feeling the Kargathi rarely knew. Fall back, he shouted, but it was too late. The Valiant moved. Not fast, Not aggressive, it simply drifted forward, the same way a predator steps toward cornered prey. Every alien ship that tried to fire saw their weapons swallowed by the same silent shield. Then came the second pulse. This time, 3 cruisers vanished at once. The rest of the fleet broke formation in terror, engines flaring as they fled toward hyperspace on Erebos 4. The colonists watched the alien ships retreat, leaving nothing but empty space and fear. Behind, hours later, the Valiant drifted above the planet. Captain Rourke stood at the viewport, the red sun painting his face. "Casualties?" he asked. "None, sir," his first officer replied. "On either side," Rourke nodded. "Good. Let them keep their fear. Fear will stop them faster than war." But deep inside the captain's mind, he knew the truth. This victory would echo across the galaxy, and sooner or later, someone would come, not just to fight them, but to end the Valiant forever. Far away, in the council chambers, alien leaders replayed the battle footage again and again. No one understood the weapon. No one could explain how a single pulse erased entire warships from reality, and so the whispers began. They will build more of these. They will not stop at defense. They will rule the stars with fear. It was in that moment, in that vast hall of alien power, that the decision started to take form. A decision that would lead to the day. They tried to ban the most dangerous ship humanity had ever built, and the Valiant was listening. Asterisk, the galaxy has many voices. Some speak through official broadcasts, others through coded trader channels, and some through the quiet conversations in shadowed bars on forgotten stations. After the Valiant's stand at Erebos 4, those voices all carried the same story. A human ship, small as a patrol craft, silent as a shadow, had erased warships from reality without firing a single visible shot. Merchants repeated it over drinks. Smugglers swore they'd seen the Holly footage. Soldiers from rival empires whispered warnings to one another. Every telling made the ship darker, more unstoppable. On the border worlds, alien officials posted new orders. Avoid human warships. Do not engage. Do not provoke. But curiosity is a dangerous thing. In a hidden station deep in Kargathi territory, a spy named Serek leaned over a flickering console. He was no stranger to human technology. He had stolen weapons plans before. But this was different. The stolen scans of the Valiant were incomplete, corrupted, as if the ship's own systems had burned the data away. Before it could be taken, Serek sent the fragments to his superiors anyway. The reply came within minutes. Under no circumstances engage. This is beyond our understanding. Meanwhile, the Valiant moved quietly across the stars. It was never seen in one place for long. A pirate fleet attacking a Terran convoy found itself staring at the dark ship and chose to surrender before the first shot. A skirmish between 2 alien factions stopped instantly when the Valiant appeared on sensors. In the human fleet command. Admiral Kane studied the reports. "It's working," he said to his staff. "Fear is the best shield we've ever built." But not everyone in the galaxy agreed. On the crystalline world of Zarian, the Council of 9 met in secret. Their chamber was a hollow sphere of glass, stars glittering in every direction. Here, 9 species held quiet power, the power to decide wars before they began. A tall, silver-skinned delegate spoke first. "We cannot allow humanity to keep this ship. They will build more." A winged alien hissed softly. "If they build a fleet of them, our navies will be useless." They claim it is for defense, another said. They claimed the same before the siege of Dravos. The silver one replied coldly. A vote was taken, not a public one, not yet. All 9 agreed. Humanity's dark warship was too dangerous to be left alone. Back aboard the Valiant, Captain Rourke watched the stars pass by. The bridge was quiet except for the hum of the void core deep inside the ship. It was the heart of the Valiant, a sphere of impossible energy. Humanity had discovered by accident in the wreckage of an ancient alien station. No one outside the crew knew how it worked. Even inside, only 3 people understood the full truth, and all 3 had sworn an oath never to speak of it. Captain, his first officer said softly, intel reports unusual fleet movements near the outer rim. Rourke's eyes narrowed. They're searching for us. Yes, sir, and not just the Kargathi we've intercepted comes from at least 6 other powers. Rourke smiled faintly. Good, let them look. The more they fear us, the less they'll test us. But in his heart, he knew fear never lasted forever. Sooner or later, fear turned to action. And when it did, the galaxy would come for the Valiant, not just with fleets, but with everything it had. On a dusty mining moon, a bartender poured drinks for a group of mercenaries. One of them, a scarred reptilian veteran, told the room, I was there at Erebos. I saw it. Our guns vanished into nothing. My shipmate swears he could feel the space around us. Bending, another mercenary leaned in. Bending. Like reality itself was folding, the veteran said, his voice dropping. And then the Vertal just wasn't there anymore. The bar went silent. Every mercenary there knew one thing: weapons could be blocked, armor could be broken, but if something could erase you without even touching you, there was no fighting it. And somewhere in the deep silence between the stars, the Valiant kept moving, its black hole drinking in the starlight. Its crew watching the galaxy watch them, because they all knew the same truth. Whispers always grow into shouts, and the shouts were coming. The Valiant drifted in the black between stars, far from any trade route, far from curious eyes. On the bridge, the crew spoke in low voices. Even here, even in their own ship, they acted as if something might be listening. Deep in the heart of the warship was the one thing that made it feared across the galaxy, the void core. Few had ever seen it. Even fewer survived after trying to understand it. It rested in a chamber lined with obsidian plating, suspended in the air by rings of humming metal. From a distance, it looked like a sphere of liquid darkness, its surface shifting like smoke trapped in glass. But when you looked closer, you saw stars inside it. Entire galaxies, tiny and spinning, like reflections from another universe. The void core was not built by humans. Captain Rourke had learned that truth years ago, in a forgotten sector where the wreckage of an ancient alien station drifted in silence. It was there, hidden in the ruins, that a small exploration team had found the dark sphere perfectly intact, perfectly alive. The scientists who first studied it had been cautious. They ran tests, took scans, sent drones. All of them failed to explain what it was. The core was older than any known civilization. It gave no heat, no radiation, but it warped space around it like a black hole without mass. And then, one day, it reacted. A stray drone fired a mining laser near it. The core pulsed once, and the drone vanished. Not destroyed, not broken, gone. Space closed where it had been, as if it had never existed. When the research reports reached Earth, military command saw more than mystery. They saw power, The core was taken under the highest secrecy, placed in a specially designed warship, the Valiant. The ship's systems were rebuilt around it, every weapon stripped away. It didn't need missiles. It didn't need guns. The core itself was the weapon in the present. Captain Rourke stood in the core chamber. Alone, it pulsed slowly, like the heartbeat of something alive. In its swirling darkness, he thought he saw shapes, vast things moving in the deep. He did not know if they were real or if the core was letting him see some other place, some other reality. Captain Tubridge, his cum buzzed. We've intercepted a secure transmission. It's marked top priority from Fleet Command. Rourke took the lift back to the bridge. On the holoscreen, Admiral Kane appeared, his face grim. Captain, the situation's changing, Kane said. The Galactic Council has started talks for a formal ban on all void core technology. They're building the case against us, using Erebos as proof. I told you this would happen, Rourke said. They've invited human diplomats to defend our position, but Kane hesitated. Satellite intel shows multiple fleets moving toward your sector. Different banners, Kargathi, Zorion, the Volturi Confederacy. They're not waiting for the vote. Rourke's eyes narrowed. They're coming for the core. Yes, Kane said, and they will not ask politely. Far from the Valiant, on the moon city of Kelvor, alien leaders met in a sealed chamber. The silver-skinned delegate from the Council of Nine spoke sharply. If we do nothing, they will use this ship to hold every world hostage. Today it erases warships. Tomorrow, planets. A horned Volturi warlord leaned forward. I've heard whispers the core is not of this galaxy. Then it is even more dangerous, the Silver One replied. We strike before they learn to control it fully. The vote was swift. All in favor of seizing the Valiant. All in favor of ending its existence. Back on the warship, night cycle lights dimmed. The crew moved in quiet routines, but the tension was there in every glance. In every hushed word, Lieutenant Harrow, the youngest officer, broke the silence. Sir, what if they succeed? What if they take the core? Rourke looked out the viewport, at the endless black. Then they will regret it more than we ever could. The core pulsed again deep below, as if it had heard him, somewhere in the dark. The galaxy was closing in. Asterisk, the Galactic Council chamber was built to inspire awe, a massive dome of crystal and steel, its walls alive with slow-moving star maps. Representatives from every major civilization filled the curved rows, their voices mixing into a deep, restless hum. But today, the noise was sharper. Every delegate spoke the same name. The Valiant, the council leader, a towering six-eyed reptilian. Elder named Morvac struck his staff against the floor. The sound rang through the chamber, silencing the crowd. This session, Morvac began, his voice echoing, concerns the presence of a human warship that poses a threat to galactic stability. The ship in question contains technology of unknown origin, technology capable of erasing matter from existence. Today we decide, shall it be banned, dismantled, or destroyed? A tall, silver-skinned Zarian delegate stood. We all saw the footage from Erebos 4. This ship did not simply win a battle, it removed ships from reality. That is not defense. That is extinction in a single breath. Several alien leaders nodded, their expressions grim. From the human delegation table, Ambassador Lyra Kane rose slowly. She was calm, but her voice carried weight. The Valiant exists to protect human lives. It acts only in defense. Erebos was under unprovoked attack. Without it, every soul on that colony would be dead. A Kargathi representative hissed, "Defense or intimidation? How many worlds will kneel to your flag simply because they fear vanishing?" Lyra's eyes were cold. "Perhaps you should not attack us then." The chamber erupted in angry voices. Far from the council chamber, the Valiant floated in the shadow of a dead star. Captain Rourke listened to the live council feed on a secure channel. The words were meant for diplomacy, but he heard the truth between them. "They've already decided," he muttered. "They want the core, and they won't ask." His first officer, Commander Voss, glanced at the tactical screen. "Multiple fleets are moving toward neutral space. They'll wait until the vote, then claim they're enforcing council law." Rourke leaned over the console, studying the incoming signals. "They think law will stop us. It won't." Back at the council, the debate reached its peak. The silver-skinned Zarian raised a slim datapad. "We submit a motion for immediate ban. No ship in this galaxy may contain void core technology. The Valiant must be surrendered to the Council for dismantling. If humanity refuses, the Council will authorize force." Gasps and mutters filled the room. Morvac's 6 eyes scanned the delegates. "The vote will begin." Holopanels lit up before each representative. One by one, they pressed their choice. The room was silent except for the faint hum of the voting system. When the results flashed above the chamber, there was no doubt. Ban passed to 89% majority. The reptilian elder's voice was final. "By order of the Galactic Council, the human warship Valiant is hereby outlawed. All fleets are authorized to intercept and seize it." Aboard the Valiant, the crew sat in tense silence as the order came through. No one spoke until Captain Rourke rose from his chair. "They want our ship," he said quietly. "They want our weapon. But they'll have to take it from us in the dark, and the dark is where we live." The core pulsed deep within the ship, as if in agreement. In distant starports, alien fleets prepared for war. Massive battleships took on fuel, fighter wings filled their bays, and strike cruisers loaded weapon racks with enough firepower to burn continents. They told their people it was for peace. But every captain knew the truth. They were hunting the most dangerous ship in the galaxy. What none of them understood was that the Valiant had never once fought at full power. The void between stars was never truly silent. There was always the distant hum of a ship's engines, the soft crackle of a cum signal, the faint tremor of a hull cutting through nothing. But in this sector, silence had a name. The Valiant It floated alone in the dark, its black hull blending with the endless void. No running lights, no signal beacon, only the faint shimmer of the void core shield curling around it like a ghost. On the bridge, Captain Rourke stood before the main. "Viewport." Commander Voss spoke without looking up from her console. "Multiple fleets inbound. Fast approach estimated. 3 hours until intercept numbers." Rourke asked. 37 capital ships, over 200 escorts, and at least 1,000 fighters, different empires, all moving together. The crew exchanged glances. This was not a hunt. It was an execution in the alien strike fleet. Admiral Kor, the same Kargathi who had fled from Erebos IV, paced his bridge, maintained formation. "Remember, this ship's weapon needs to be close to hit you. Keep your distance and strike from range." A Volturi commander on the cum snarled. "You talk as if it can be fought like any other ship. It is not a ship. It is a wound in reality. Then we will close that wound," Kor snapped, "one way or another. The Valiant remained still as the fleets drew closer. The core pulsed slowly beneath the deck, its deep hum echoing through the ship. Lieutenant Harrow swallowed hard. "Sir, we could try to run." Rourke didn't move his gaze from the stars. "Run, and they'll hunt us forever. Stand, and maybe they'll remember why they fear us." He turned to the cum officer. "Open a broad channel." The voice of Captain Rourke rolled out into space, carried on encrypted waves to every ship. "In the incoming fleets, this is the Valiant. You come to take what is ours. You come to strike in the name of peace while preparing for war. Turn back now, and you will see another sunrise. Continue forward, and you will not exist to regret it." There was no roar, no threat of violence, only calm certainty, and that made it worse. Admiral Cor's jaw tightened. "Ignore him. All ships, advance." The fleets surged forward, weapons charging, fighters fanning out like a swarm of glowing insects. On the Valiant's bridge, Rourke's voice was steady. "Activate full core alignment." The core chamber came alive. The sphere of darkness grew brighter in its own impossible way, the shapes inside it moving faster, like storms forming in a hidden sky. The hum deepened until it was felt in the bones of every crew member. Then the first alien salvo arrived. Missiles, plasma beams, hyperkinetic slugs, hundreds of them, all vanished the instant they touched the black shimmer. "Pulse," Rourke said. The ship's hull didn't glow. Its cannons didn't fire. Instead, a silent ripple spread outward from the core, invisible except for the way the stars seemed to bend around it. 3 alien cruisers vanished in an instant. No wreckage, no light, no sound. The attacking fleets hesitated. Even at full speed, they slowed. "Second pulse," Rourke ordered. 5 battleships gone. The alien cum channels erupted into chaos. Some shouted for retreat, others demanded all-out attack. But the fear was too deep now, too sharp. Captains, who had sworn to fight to the last, instead ordered full burn away from the dark shape in the void. One by one, the fleets broke apart, scattering into hyperspace. Admiral Cor stayed longest, his ship facing the Valiant alone across the black. Through the open cum, his voice came bitter, almost respectful. "You can't hide forever, human. One day, fear will not stop us." Rourke's reply was quiet. "Then you'd better hope that day never comes." Cor's ship vanished into the jump stream. The void was silent again. Commander Voss exhaled slowly. "We won't get peace after this, only more eyes watching." Rourke looked out at the endless dark. "Good, let them watch. Fear is a better shield than armor." Deep inside the ship, the void core pulsed once, like a predator, patient and waiting, somewhere in the cold between stars. The most powerful warship in the galaxy still lived, outlawed, hunted, and unstoppable.